knife out of a coil spring. For this project, I'm going an integral, or I'm going to attempt, rather, an integral blade. But first things first, we need to talk about tooling we're going to need. On this one, got this little step-down tool. I like it a lot. I made that. I also am going to be using the horn of my anvil. Not necessarily a requirement to have all these things, but it's going to help you out immensely if you have these tools. If you don't have these tools, you can make them fairly easy. As far as the bolster tool goes, as far as an anvil, you can get anvils fairly cheap. I highly recommend the NC Tools Knife Maker Anvil. I like it. Not very expensive. And it's a good deal. I mean, it works great. So, but you'd always make your own or find other anvil-shaped objects. Not a huge deal. So, well, I'm going to set you guys up, and I'm going to get started. That back in there. That hurt. Managed to get a really nasty piece of hot scale right on top of my foot. That's why leather boots, not a requirement, but definitely help. As always, if you guys have questions, leave a comment and I'll try to answer as we go along. way straightened out already. Just got to work the ends, and then we'll be ready to work on the blade shape itself. you have liked the video that are watching. Let's bump that number up a little bit. There's 10 viewers. I'd like to see like 10 likes. It's free and it helps me out a lot. Two of you didn't like it, so you took off. That's fine too. As always, any questions I will answer. You don't have to super chat or any of that crap here. If you have a question, drop it in the comments and I'll answer as quickly as I can. Okay, Chris Madrigal, blacksmithing for me came about as a matter of necessity. I needed a good hunting knife. The one I bought from one of those big box stores, it failed me. So I decided I could probably make my own and make it cheaper than what I paid for it at the big box store. I was wrong about the cheaper part. I was right about the better. Armando, I'm a bladesmith primarily, but I also do decorative work like hooks and things of that nature. But I'm primarily a bladesmith. Francisco, nothing to apologize for. Hell's probably where I'm going. Cheers. Brazil, it must be early morning there. Or am I incorrect? Or it'd be evening, I would imagine. Once a coil spring is now just a round bar. Alright, what's going on, Slim? I do sell knives. I am not located within Canada, but I can ship to Canada. I'm in southeastern Arkansas, which is basically Satan's asshole of the United States. which is why I drink shitty beer and work out of a shitty forge. Oh, if you guys think this is going to be a politically correct channel, understand I don't get into politics, but if I do, I'm going to have fun. And I'm going to hurt feelings. Left, right, center, I don't care. I'm going to hurt everyone's feelings equally. Hell yeah, I was actually a sheriff's deputy in Ruston, Louisiana, Chris. Or Slim. Once upon a lifetime ago. That, but it will work. So we're going to set aside our integral section for the handle. On Facebook, the one who's asking about knives being sold, if you look me up on Facebook, you'll find me at Shove Steelworks. Okay, so as I was saying, if you look me up on Facebook, Armando, I sell knives. You just look Shove Steelworks, you'll find me on Facebook. I've got a lot of pictures of work I've done throughout the years there. I've recently started doing folders. I don't prefer to do folders because there's a lot of work, but I can do it. We're up to 2 likes out of 12 people. Come on, guys, drop a like. Drop a dislike, I don't care. I'm going to separate some material off to shorten this up, but we're not going to do an integral. My tool that I use for integrals, it's not working. Probably because I'm missing the top half. Not in the Army. How to time? The time for me is 6:39 p.m. Good to have you, Ravan, on. As far as Army, I was not Army. I was a Marine. Still am a Marine, at least in spirit. Some of the best times I ever had. Also, some of the worst times I ever had. But this is what I do. I come out to my forge, I drink some shitty beer, make knives, and it passes the time. How about yourself, Francisco? Did you serve in the military? Raven, dude, I'm sorry. I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm glad to have you tuned in from India, man. Or it says you're Indian. I'm glad to have you tuned in from wherever you're watching. I appreciate you checking in, man. That's an interesting question. Where are you guys all watching from? Drop your country in the comments. Hey, thanks, Ruben. Francisco, you said you're a Navy SEAL, but you're from Brazil. It's kind of an interesting thought. Is that the Brazilian equivalent, or are you saying you're a U.S. Navy SEAL? And before you answer that, please understand, I do know the questions to ask to find out whether or not you're talking about American Navy SEAL versus Brazilian. Man, Chris, you should really take the dive. It's a lot of fun. Or Slim, rather. I apologize. Hey man, look, I got one left to drink on the stream. After that, the rest are kept indoors. Okay, there's several ways to do it. I use the small small propane tanks. Bernard, Francisco, yeah, I was just making sure that you weren't trying to say you were an American Navy SEAL. That was going to be an interesting line of questioning to follow. Bernard, the easiest way to do it is to use a smaller propane tank. I don't have a problem with them freezing because I don't crank mine open all the way, but you can also put them in a small tank with water or a small bucket with water that's just bigger than your propane tank. I guess that'd be a big bucket, but you get the point. And that should keep them from freezing. I've not had a problem with it. Sorry, Francisco, I'm very, we don't claim what we ain't, you know. I wasn't trying to say you were lying. I was just I'm very defensive about my brothers in arms. Hey, no worries, Bernard. Like I said, I encourage questions. I want people to ask questions about the craft. I want people to learn. I want people to become blacksmiths. I want people to become bladesmiths. I want people to be better than me. I've thinned it out a great deal. I'm going to go ahead and start shaping the actual blade profile now. I'm going to go ahead and cut off that last little section just to form the handle. Other than that, the thickness is about where I want it. This knife is going to be a small, Skinner style knife, something you can use out in the field, something that anybody could carry and not have to worry about it being too heavy or too big or whatever. A good size, everyday carry knife that one can use and not draw undue attention to themselves. Bernard, I'm going to show you how I keep my tanks. You see I've got my propane tank on the ground there. I've got my backup tank to the left, or right rather. Other than that, there's really nothing I do. It's hot enough in southeast Arkansas that I'm not worried about it freezing. I'm going to go ahead and forge the tip in now. As you guys can probably tell, it's getting fairly dark out here. Sorry. You can tell it's probably getting a little dark out here. The sun has definitely set below the horizon. Continue dropping these questions though. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the conversation. I like the back and forth. Armando. Okay, so this is an unusual build for me. I don't normally use reclaimed materials for my knives. You know, that's leaf spring, coil spring, railroad spikes. I don't normally use those. I don't want that to be the message you guys are getting from this video. I typically use 1095. I typically use CVN. Oh God, I can't remember that fucking acronym. Anyways, I typically use really good quality steel. This is a one-off. It's for a YouTube video. This is literally just me coming out, taking a steel that I know is of higher quality carbon content than typical, and making a knife out of it. I cannot guarantee the structural stability of this knife, so it's not going to sell for very high. Now, if this were one of my knives made from a known material, it would definitely be selling for a lot higher than what it's going to. By the way, if you guys are interested in buying this piece, you can get it at facebook.com/ShoofSteelworks. It'll be up in a couple of days. It'll probably be Friday or Saturday after this video drops, before it'll be available at the earliest. That's the absolute earliest. I haven't decided on a handle material yet. I might go with something a little different, and since I'm not doing a standard material for my blade, I may actually do a little paracord wrap. I don't know. It'd be something interesting. It'd be something different. It'd be something cool. So, and it would stick with the minimalist theme of this blade. So I think I might do that. And as always, anything about me is fair game. You guys can ask any questions you want. You're going to get an honest answer. I will warn you, it may not be the answer you want, but it will be the truth as best as I see it. Oh! We're going to take a sit down for a minute while I let the steel come back up to temperature. You guys can see it's twilight hours here. My Guardian light's on, so I know it's starting to get late. It's probably about 6:30, 7 o'clock, I imagine. Yeah, 7 o'clock. Hey, Brian Gibbons, if you're still watching, thank you for the subscription. By the way, guys, like, subscribe, share it with a friend. All of that is free, costs you nothing, and it only takes a couple of seconds to do. I'm going to try and have the profile of this blade forged out before I leave out of here tonight. I'm not going to promise nothing because that's stupid. But I am going to say I'm going to try. 32 minutes in. I can't complain about where I'm at so far. As somebody was asking earlier whether I'm doing this full-time or as a hobby or whatever, I can't call it full-time because this is not my primary source of income. But I'm putting in a good number of hours in my shop every day between making knives and other objects. And I do take commissions for special pieces. I'm in the transitional phase. If I can get my YouTube to blow up enough to where I'm making just a couple of dollars off my YouTube, hey, let's be real, we're all about money, right? If we're not, we're wrong. If we're not making money, if I'm not making money doing it, I can't go full time. I'd love to. I make a quality product for a fairly inexpensive price. I make good knives, and I make them cheap enough to where the average person can buy one. You may have to scrounge together some money to do it, but I don't charge an exorbitant amount for my knives. I do not like to charge over $150 for a knife. If I can make it free for under $150, I'm going to do it. But there are some builds that require a little bit more money than that. That being said, the average person isn't after that. The average person is after something that they can use on a daily basis, that they can trust they're not going to have to sharpen after 3 or 4 cuts. And that's, you know, that's my niche. That's what I'm after. I want to sell knives to that guy because that guy's going to show it to his friends and say, hey, check this out. You spent $300 on that Benchmade and you're having to sharpen it every other day. Bought this off some dumb redneck in southeast Arkansas and I sharpen it once a month. And we do the same thing with our blades. And that's what I'm after. I try to keep my builds priced fairly low, just so that way I can get my knives in the hands of more people. Would I like to do this full time? Absolutely. Do I see that happening in the next 2 or 3 years? Nah. I'm a realist. I'd have to sell 10 or 12 of my knives a week and build 10 or 12 of my knives a week in order to go full time. Armando, did I answer your question sufficiently, sir? Or ma'am, or they, or them, or he, or she, or whatever. I appreciate that, man. Glad to know you're still watching. I am really letting this last heat soak because what I have to do is kind of traumatic to the blade. I'm going to be putting a lot of force in a very deliberate fashion. I'm totally straight, man. Yeah, I got you, man. I'm just giving you hell. Understand, I'm a jokester. I like to have fun. I'm going to talk shit. I hope you guys talk shit too. Seriously, do not think I take myself serious. I don't. I want you guys to make fun of me harder than I can, which, good luck. Matter of fact, I want to hear your guys' best roasts. Hey, Galatorn, my dude. Hey, man, how you doing? If you guys play Raid, you guys need to hit Galatorn's channel up. He's got some great content. He knows what he's talking about. He's a good dude. Man, I'm doing all right. I can't complain. I spent all day at work building toys for rich bastards, and now I'm here at the house building toys for us rednecks. Hey, no worries, man. Speaking of, I need to go check this steel. Awesome, Armando. Love to see the trades represented. So, tell me about your HVAC experience, Armando. I'm genuinely curious. I'm a welder by trade. I build some of the best aluminum boats on the market. I work for a company called Sea Arc Boats. I'm an aluminum welder. That's a whole new can of worms we can open up in another discussion. But yeah, I love to see the trades represented, brother. Go ahead and tell folks about your HVAC experience, man. Let folks know, like, hey, it's not all about a 4-year degree in a, you know, at some fancy university. Sometimes you can get by with that damn old service technician badge. Hey, man, there's no worries about that. Not everybody's cut out to be a Sparky. Or a sparkle fairy, as somebody called it the other day. So I'm 100% a sparkle fairy, man. I love working a MIG gun. I can also TIG weld too, so there's and stick weld. I mean, welding to me is just magical. I love it. But tell us about the HVAC side of things, man. Like, what got you juiced up about HVAC? I'm genuinely curious because I know nothing about HVAC. Oh, that's cool, man. So like refilling Freon, blowing out the unit, cleaning the unit. Really? Boilers? Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to learn a little welding and do some boiler work. For those that don't know, boiler work, you gotta be on your game in a boiler. If Armando and I are thinking of the same thing, yeah, you definitely gotta be on your game in a boiler. Man, I really don't know mechanic shit. I truly don't. I'm not a mechanic. I'm a blacksmith. I'm a welder. I'm a cat fisherman. And I'm a piece of shit YouTuber. I know enough about doing all of those to be dangerous. Not enough about any of them to really be great. Although I like to say I'm a pretty damn good welder. I truly don't know shit about HVAC. I'll be 100% honest with you. I know I need to clean my central heating and air unit once a week. Dude, welding aluminum ain't shit. I could teach you to do it in a week. I could have you up and running and doing my job in a week. You just gotta really want it. Because you're gonna leave home burnt. You're gonna leave work burnt. You're gonna come home every day smelling like smoking flesh. You're gonna smell like burnt hair 24/7. There's nothing you can do to wipe that smell away. It is what it is. It's an occupational hazard. You're gonna have burns. You're gonna have blisters. You're gonna have cuts. And a lot of people aren't willing to go down that road. Hey, man, if you only tried a couple of times, you needed to try about 3 or 4 more times and you'd have had it. Welding aluminum is no more tricky than welding steel. You just have to have the discipline to do it. That's coming through. We're getting a little bit of a rough knife shape. Yes, you do, but yeah, Armando, I don't mind it. Even though it sets my tinnitus off, I don't mind it. Galadorn. As far as the explosive side of aluminum, that's more of aluminum thermite welding, which you got to be careful with, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing more aluminum sheet metal, and really with aluminum thermite, you're more worried about aluminum oxide as far as explosive properties. Oh, YouTube, this is a Pepsi. Really is, I promise. It's in a blue can. It must be a Pepsi. No, Francisco. No, sir. Do not apologize. Like I said, I was making sure you weren't claiming to be a United States Navy SEAL as opposed to a Brazilian counterpart. I have nothing but the utmost respect for you, sir. Nothing. If you've made it through a Navy SEAL equivalent training, dude, absolutely fucking admire you. I think you're a fucking god among men, and I don't believe you need to apologize ever again for anything. That training is absolutely unreal, and if anybody knew what you went through just in the training, they would fucking bow down at your feet. That training is ungodly. Do not apologize, sir. I was saying if you were going to try to claim being a Navy SEAL, as in a United States Navy SEAL, that's what I was getting at. I was not saying if you're a Brazilian version or a Brazilian counterpart. I know about BOPE. BOPE. No, sir. You have nothing to apologize for. You absolutely do not. You have nothing but my utmost respect. Absolutely 100%. Anybody who goes through that shit, fuck. Dude, that training is unreal. It's very similar to Bud's. It's very similar to Bud's, and it's... Fuck. I wouldn't put anyone through Bud's, man. Yeah, that's... Oh. For those that are unaware, Francisco had made the statement, something about being a Navy SEAL. And I was like, okay, you just told me you were Brazilian. So I was confused, and that's on me. That is not on Francisco. Not at all. 100% nothing but the utmost respect. I should have been more clear with my line of questioning. I did not apologize, or I did not mean to come off as antagonistic or disrespectful, Francisco, because I know you could handle me any day of the week. You could wrap me up like laundry, and I could do nothing to stop you. BOPE is no joke. They are some hard motherfuckers. And I have nothing but the utmost respect for you, brother. Alright, I gotta get back to work. Francisco, before you go, please, brother, before you go to my Facebook. It's facebook.com/Show Steelworks, much like it is here. It's spelled the same and everything. Go, just search me up on Facebook, message me on Facebook, brother. I got something I want to send to you. So, please, with nothing but the utmost love and respect for you, please go to facebook.com/Show Steelworks. I know it's coming out of my pocket. I don't care. I'm going to send something your way, just as a sign of nothing but love and respect. Hit me up, brother. Get some rest. Nothing but love and respect, man. I am wholeheartedly, guys, if you haven't noticed, I'm wholeheartedly ready and willing to admit when I make a mistake. And I really shouldn't have come at him the way I did. It was not aimed at him so much as it was these people that try to profit off of being a Navy SEAL or a United States Marine Force Recon or whatever. That irritates me and it bothers me. And I've seen people from France try to say, oh, I was a Navy SEAL. Like, no, motherfucker, you were not. Oh, I was a United States Force Recon, Navy SEAL, Delta operator, yada, yada, yada. Like, okay, no, you weren't. And you can tell the ones. When he immediately told me, like, I'm sorry, I should have been more clear, I was bope. Like, no, this guy was being cool. I overreacted. I'm going to make it right by him. So, Francisco, like I said, please, please, please drop me a message on my Facebook. I will fucking contact you. I will find a fucking way, dude. I'm going to contact you, and we're going to figure this out. I'm going to send you something, dude. I've been out here forging for an hour, and I don't have a completed blade because you guys have been chatting. You guys have been blowing me up. I have no problem with that. Like, this is just me out here bullshitting and having fun. So I wanted to say, you know, to all of you people out here watching, there's 6 people watching right now. I got 5 likes. Let's make those numbers even. Please. Give me, drop that 6 like, and let's get this ball rolling. But, like I said, nothing but the utmost love for anybody in any armed services, because it's not easy. I know from firsthand experience it really hurts. Yes, sir, Francisco. Please, like I said, message me on Facebook, man. I will take care of you. I promise. Come hell or high water. Go get some rest, man. You earned it. I got about 1 more heat left in me, guys. I'm tired. I've worked a long shift, and now I'm getting ready to finish this up. I'm going to go inside, and I'm going to spend some time with my wife and kids. But, yeah, like I said, I mean, I am all about people who serve their country. I may not necessarily agree with all the politics of their country, but that patriotism, that willingness to put yourself before, you know, the general populace, I have respect for that. I don't even have to like what your nation stands for, but if you're willing to say, hey, look, I'll take a bullet before my mother or sister, brother, or whatever, I'm willing to fucking stand up for you because you're cool people. And I know just enough about BOPE or BOPE. I know just enough about them to say I would never want to tangle with them in a fight because they are some crazy sons of bitches. Just like the Navy SEALs, they're crazy. You got to be a certain level of demented to want to do that. And Francisco, like I said, hit me up, and we'll go from there. Galadorn, if you're still watching, brother, let me know if anything's going on in Raid that I need to know about. I'm going to try and do my dailies tonight, but I can't promise I'm going to do more than that. You can see what my days are like. This is an average day for me. Although I typically have 2 or 3 more projects going. Yeah, good deal, man. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna flatten this piece out, and that's gonna be the end of this video. So I'll start it back up tomorrow. No promises, but that's the plan. So all you guys can see, after an hour, I have a blade-shaped object forged. Blade-shaped object forged. I'm going to heat it back up to critical temperature. And the reason for that is once I heat it up to critical temperature, I'm going to allow it to cool down overnight in the forge. That'll allow it to cool down slowly enough that it should be as soft as possible when I go to work tomorrow. It also gives us time to finish this beer. We started a beer together and we didn't finish it. I got that one to finish. I'm sorry. We started a Pepsi together and I've not yet had time to finish it, so I'd like to finish it. So there is always that. So Galadorn, if you had anything to say about what you've seen, please let me know. If you would change something, doesn't matter what it is, let me know. I'll see you in game here in a few hours, or in the next hour. Like I said, I don't mind. Tell me if you got something you want to change. I'm always willing to listen to suggestion, not necessarily take suggestion, as a friend of mine so eloquently once put it. But yeah. It's hot out here, folks. And with that, it's time to call it, guys. I'm tired. I'm hot. I need to go wash the stink off myself. I kind of like it when you guys can just see the shadows and shit. I like that. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. I don't have much in the way of lighting out here in the dark side of my shop. On the inside, you can see I got lights on inside. Out here, it's by the light of the forge, man. But yeah, the blade's up to temperature. We're gonna go ahead and cool it. I'll send you guys away with a shot of the inside of the forge as it cools off. There you go. There's a shot of the inside. You can see the blade in there just screaming hot. And with that, guys, I'm out of here. So it's time for me to go inside and wash my ass. Hopefully you guys have had a good day. I appreciate that, Armando. I'm gonna get inside. I'm gonna wash up. I'm nasty, so I appreciate you guys. I gave you an hour of my time. If you can, please just give me one like, subscribe, come back and check it out when it's finished. I appreciate it, brother. Armando, come check me out on Facebook if you're wanting to buy a knife. I do ship internationally. And with that, I'm out, y'all. Be safe.